and welcome back to Amplify Sessions. This is episode 2 and we have a very special guest joining us. Jordan O'Keefe, welcome.
Thank
How
you very
are
much
you?
for having me.
It's such a pleasure.
It's such an honour to be number 2 in this year. Honestly, thank you so much for having me.
It's so great to get to chat to you because you have such an interesting story. You've got such an incredible journey as well. And I'm just really excited to do a little deep dive and talk all about it. So I want to go back to maybe earlier days. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. Your musical kind of journey and what got you into music, was it a karaoke machine on holiday?
Yeah, no, so what it was my dad used to buy CDs off, the guys used to sell the Lucky guys. Yeah. So my dad would have bought CDs upon CDs, and I loved Stevie Wonder growing up. So it was like Stevie Wonder, Bryan Adams, Guns N' Roses, Bob Marley, very like
Classics.
Wide range of stuff, wide range of genres. And then we used to have a CD player. But I would like take it and put it in the bathroom, in the shaver socket. Because no way, over there it's the 2 pins.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that, by the way. Like that you shouldn't be doing that in the bathroom. But I used to put the CD player in the bathroom and I would sing to this one song called Living for the City. And I got up one night in karaoke, the blonde spiky hair, glasses, fire flame shirt, them 3/4 length trousers down to here, not even like here, there. And I would get up and sing this like powerhouse song. And people would have been like, my mum and dad were like going, oh my God, what's he doing up here and all? And like karaoke, big song for this wee man and all. And I got up and people would have been like really, it was a great feeling. And I think that's what started it. Like I really loved that feeling of everyone applauding and all. Just, I wanted attention all the time.
So obviously, performer from a young age, you knew that. You went on to go on Britain's Got Talent, which is absolutely massive. What kind of inspired you to go on the show?
Honestly, Owen Quigg.
Really?
Aye. And I've been saying this quite a lot too. Like, Owen was the first person to really, from Northern Ireland, to go on them shows. I think he was, wasn't he?
I think
first
so,
one, 2008.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't going that long. And like, the craze was amazing. And I obviously was doing similar things growing up. Like, I had played Danny in Greece in the school play and stuff. And like, I just loved, as I said, going up and performing. I love that feeling. And I love watching wrestling. So like, I know that's mad to say to you.
How does that incorporate with performing?
Because I love the show of it all.
Yeah.
I loved like the storylines. I loved like the way it was. I loved it. Like, it was just class. And when they come out, the roar of the crowd and all, it was just the class.
Yeah.
So I seen that and I was like, I'd love to do that. And then we had tried for many years. Like, I went to Croke Park in Dublin. I actually auditioned beside Niall Horan. So like, I was in the queue. There was a video of me and Niall Horan. He's singing and I'm like standing right behind him. And then he went on to be in One Direction that year. So I was like, oh, jeepers, that didn't work out. And then we went to Liverpool one time, auditioned at the Echo Arena, it was called then. It didn't get through then. And like, that was mental busy that day. It was a long, long day. Then I went to Belfast one year and there was barely anybody there. Maybe that's the reason why I got through. But sang 2 songs and that was it.
So how many times did you actually audition in total?
3 times, 3? Yeah.
Okay. And anything maybe like behind the scenes from Britain's Got Talent that you weren't necessarily expecting that shocked you about maybe TV production?
Nothing. Like, it is very regime. Like, there's no messing about, and it is quite lengthy.
Do you know your audition song before you audition? Do you have to give that information over?
Oh, so actually, I had sang Little Things on my audition here in Belfast. Then I sang Beneath Your Beautiful by Labyrinth. So they had loved Little Things, and I wanted to do Give Me Love by Ed Sheeran, and I wanted to do it the lip pedal and all. In my head, I was like, this will be class. But I did a video on YouTube, and people from here enjoyed it, so I was like, I'll do it on there. But they were adamant. It has to be Little Things. And they were right, because at that time, One Direction were massive. But the other thing that people don't realise is they were signed to the label that Simon Cowell owns. You know what I mean? So that was more money generated for them. Now, you know John Garrity?
Yes.
Well, I think John had went one time and they wanted him to sing a song, but they wanted him to sing a song that was on the label. And I remember there being a problem with that there. So it's like, they knew what they were doing, but it helped benefit what I was doing, because it put me into that audience of all the One Direction fans. And I mean, like, they are, I'll tell you my one, right?
Yeah.
I went on tour one time with Jonathan and Charlotte. I don't know if you remember them. And like, we did an amazing tour. Like, we played in Birmingham Symphony Hall, was class. But this woman had brought me a cake. Well, a young girl, she baked me a cake.
Okay.
In the cake was a clump of her hair.
What?
Because she wanted a piece of her inside of me. That's how mad the fan
Would that
base
even
was.
digest? That's so
Exactly.
weird.
It's crazy, right? Like I remember on that tour just putting on Twitter, need to go get clothes today. And like I was coming to the venue and they were like bags of Top Man, River Island, like all this mad stuff. So what they were doing was they were trying to get me into that fan base and try and help put myself out there. And it worked. So yeah, they pushed for that song and it was the right thing to do.
It's crazy. And one of the craziest things, I suppose, from Britain's Got Talent, I mean, it has to be doing the duet with Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, unreal.
How was that experience? How did that kind of come about for anyone that doesn't know?
So obviously because it sang Little Things, he wrote the song.
Yeah.
There was a connection there. I loved him. And I wasn't told until I got through to the final that he was playing on the final night. So this girl who booked the acts went to me and was like, look, you're going to be buzzing with this. We've booked Ed Sheeran and Taylor Swift for the... And I was like, what? This is unbelievable. So on the day, I was just hanging about and he was doing an interview with Grimshaw from BBC. And then he just came past and it was like, I seen your audition, loved it. And I was just standing there going like, what?
So he approached you first?
He approached me.
Wow. I mean,
I couldn't believe it. I was like, I couldn't even get the words out. He said, do you know I wrote the song? And I was like, aye. And basically, and he was like, look, I'm in my dressing room, come over. Like, I'm here for hours afterwards. So I was like hanging about the parking lot like a bad smell. I was just playing the guitar and all do. And then one of his people from the record label came over from Atlantic Records and was like, Ed wants to meet you. Can you come on? So I just came on. And like I watched videos of like his family and stuff or whoever was around him, like his manager. And I was just like, oh my God, like these people are here in front of me. It was literally a dream, like an absolute dream.
And if you could go back and tell, what age were you on Britain's Got Talent? 18?
18.
You could go back now and tell your 18-year-old self something, what would you tell him?
Ooh. I always say like don't have any regrets because there was a lot of shit that I did afterwards that I'm not proud of. But I think if I didn't do all that, I wouldn't be here now.
Yeah.
So it's like maybe just trust the process. Don't be so hard on yourself. Because there's many times that I was, like I'm still hard on myself. I put myself down when I shouldn't. And that wee boy was lost, like he had so much going on in his life.
Yeah.
So I think it maybe just be kind to yourself.
I know, and I think imposter syndrome is such a massive thing, like in the industry that so many people feel. And looking back at yourself now, when you were 18, you know, you were maybe being so hard on yourself, but look at everything that you achieved then and everything that's came from that.
Do you know what? When I used to drink, I used to feel like it was like a disease. Do you know what I mean? Like this thing that happened to me, it's not good enough. Like, and don't get me wrong, I look back at it now fondly. I do, because it was a great time. I used to blame Britain's Got Talent. I used to blame the show, everybody afterwards. Like the only person to blame was myself. But again, you say imposter syndrome. Like whenever I came off that show, and I was thinking about this yesterday. I was walking through Dublin. Like there's two Cushlás, right? There's the one that goes home to Tiernan, and there's the one that is on the radio.
Yeah.
And if you act like the person that's on the radio all the time, you're going to have this ego and this personality that is not the real version of yourself. Because we go on, like when I go on stage, I can't come off that stage and act like the way I was because I'm acting like a superstar on there. I have to portray that version of myself.
There's that element of performance.
There's performance,
you're going out
exactly.
And you're performing,
But my problem back then was I didn't separate that to two people. So Jordan O'Keefe that went on stage was acting that in everyday life, going out to nightclubs thinking he was the man, trying to keep that going. And that's what was my downfall. And like it's even if you go into a job, someone comes in at the very start, they're going to be themselves until they get up and they become the boss. And the next thing they're, not everyone, but some people, then they start telling people what to do and it affects their personality. And that's what I became. I became the wrong version of myself.
And are you comfortable talking about the aftermath of Britain's Got Talent?
Of course.
How did that, all kind of go? Like what was the journey from Britain's Got Talent, the years after that followed? What kind of happened after the show?
So I had taken drugs when I was about 16 and I never realised what it was going to do to me. Do you mean I was running around with a lot of older people? They were doing it, so like they were 10 years older than me, so they'd been like 26. I was 16 and I was, doing all this stuff, but it wasn't a big part of my life. I do remember though a period when I was about 17 and we were having a party, my mum and dad were away and I was like to my friends, if I don't get this, we're not having a party. We're not having a party. And I remember that vividly. And I remember having people around that night and they could see that I was on drugs, like at 17. And they were like, we need to get out of here. This is not right. But then as I went on Britain's Got Talent, it wasn't really a thing, like as it became later on. But when the show ended, like I came home and I played FIFA. I'll never forget it, in my flat for 2 days. Curtains closed, didn't want to see anybody, real down, and then I just started going out. Like I was in Sugar nightclub in Derry, even Belfast, Box, El Divino, anywhere that was on, we were going to it. And trying to get in the VIP room and trying to living this high life that I wanted, which is not the way it should have been done. And I think there was a turning point. I went out one night in Derry and I was taking drugs. I think it was ecstasy, I'm not sure. And I had went back to the flat and my friend had brought a girl over, and I think there might have been something maybe going on there, but like it hadn't really happened. I think she was maybe coming over, curious, whatever it was. I had fucking set up. Can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Right. I set up like my flat living room wouldn't have been any bigger than this.
This is quite a big room though.
For a living room, flat living room, right? So maybe that's what I'm saying. It would have been way smaller than this, right? So like that's what I mean. Not bigger. It would have been smaller than this. Yeah. And I set up the full speaker system in the flat and got up a loop pedal and started looping. Like, and she's sitting there in this room going, what the fuck is going on here? So they literally left like right away. They're like, and it was off my head. Like, and that night then I had like a full packet of paracetamol. Oh,
I didn't know that.
And try to end it. And I texted my family and I was like, I can't do this anymore. It was tough, like, cause I was becoming someone I didn't know. Like when I think back, that wee boy that was on karaoke and doing it for the love of doing it, it became something that I wasn't doing it for. I was going out and getting that attention that I didn't really want. Like, do you know what I mean? It's hard to explain.
I'm so sorry, I didn't know that.
Well, it's happened more than once, unfortunately, to say. But I think, I never wanted to do it. Like if I wanted to do it, I would have went and done it.
I think it's really brave to talk about it because, I mean, so many men maybe hide that away and maybe don't open up and talk about it. What, I mean, was it for you that kind of helped you get over that hurdle?
At that time, my mum and dad, they actually had to come through the bedroom window and they picked me off the floor. I was in a state of, delirium, just I didn't know where I was, didn't know what was going on. They took me home, so I never moved back in that flat. Because that was what would you say?
Reminder.
No, not a reminder. Like enabling. That was enabling me to be able to do what I was doing. So I moved back home with mum and dad, and at that time, this is what I'm saying. Like if I didn't want to be here any longer, but I didn't want to go. So I was doing things and leaving it up to chance. So like, right, I'll eat all this stuff, and if it kills me, it kills me. But I don't want to leave, but I don't want to be this person that I am. Yeah. And I was a cry out for help. I just needed that help, but I didn't know what help was. Like now that's what I'm trying to do, is show people that if you are feeling that way, go and speak to someone. Addiction shouldn't be about living that. There is ways out, but I didn't know that back then. Yeah. We have so many people now talking about recovery, and I think there's not enough. I see someone new popping up all the time. Fucking as many people as we can getting talking about it and saying this is not the way forward. Like, and people can go out and enjoy a drink. Do you know what I mean? And there's nothing really. There's people that can and there's people that can't. There's people that ruin their lives. They ruin relationships. Like I have fucked so many things up in my past, and the many apologies I have had to give that I don't mind giving. And that's another thing. Like when I started apologizing to people, I was always looking for something back. But if I upset you and I went, I am sorry for what I did. And you went, well, that's okay. And that was the end of the conversation. Then I shouldn't leave going, why did I not get more back? It's not about that. It's about giving the apology. And so it was my mum and dad that helped me. They took me home, as they have many times, and nursed me back to health as such,
I'm so glad that you had them and that support system around you. And as you said, I mean, probably if you were to walk down the street, you'd probably walk past so many people that know someone dealing with addiction that are going through it themselves, and a lot of the time it's masked and you wouldn't even know if you walk past someone on the street. And it's really important to talk about. And I mean, your journey is so inspiring because seeing you now and how far you've came in the past couple of years. I mean, you've got an incredible wife. kids. You know, you've got a great family now. And I'm sure they're so proud of you and everything you've overcame as well. Big time.
That is what keeps me going now.
Yeah.
You know, and the thing is, like, I'll actually tell you something. We did a gig in Dublin, and we had someone from a record label come, and they turn around and says, we're not investing in him because he's an addict in recovery. And my manager didn't tell me until 4 months later. He says, I didn't want to tell you this, but I'm going to fucking tell you now. That's the reason why that record label didn't want to take you on. And because I was feeling down at the time, he says, you have to get over this, you know, feeling down all the time and blah, blah. And I was thinking, like, isn't it crazy that people wouldn't take on someone in recovery because they're scared of a relapse, because it's an investment for them. I understand too. But what people don't understand is, if I relapse, I lose everything. My wife, my kids. Why the fuck would I risk that?
Because didn't you go through a time where your relationship, you know, was impacted from, you know, your...
Another thing of addiction is, I had a wife at home that loves me, and I mean that woman loves me, and I know she loves me. But I was always searching for somebody else to fill the gap, whether that be another person, whether it be drink, drugs, friends. You become a user, you know, anything to help me. So selfish. And she was at home waiting on me. I was out doing whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. Like, I even remember she would say to me, you're not going out tonight. And I would go out, and I knew in my head that 2 days later, I would purposely, you know, it'll be fine. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to it'll be grand. Like, I'll just go out and do it. No. And I was doing that all the time. She has been so supportive. And if it wasn't for her, I would not be sitting here. That is a fact, because just before I got sober, I pushed her out, told her I didn't want to be with her anymore. I blamed her. And don't get me wrong, Milena, what I've realised is whenever I got sober was, Milena has her own trauma, like we talked about before, with her father, and so many things that's happened to her, things that she still hasn't opened up about, things she doesn't want to open up about, because she doesn't want to light them feelings again. Because when you go back to trauma, it is like, when I talked about my abuse, for example, on a podcast, when that went out, the feeling that gave me, and I ended up writing a really good song out of it, but it sparked all these feelings again, the anxiety, the feeling of not feeling good enough, and why did that happen to me, and the anger, and she's scared of that happening. And what I realised is, now that I've got sober, my goal is to help my wife to get, you know, to heal her trauma. And like, we're still working on that. Like, it's not easy. Like, she started medication recently because she's severely depressed. And something I always used to pushed aside when I was drinking. Like, friends would say to me, maybe she's depressed, man. I'd be like, nah, fuck, she's not depressed. Like, what the fuck is she depressed about? I'm depressed. You know, it's all about me. What's it, you know? And that was the problem. Whereas now, and then she stopped the medication when she was in Brazil. And I was like, baby, how I have, but we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. And I'm so grateful to have her by my side.
Two very strong people, and, you know,
we are so alike.
Yeah.
Like, somebody would say, maybe she has ADHD, and I'm like, well, I know I have ADHD because I'm all over the place. So it's like, and then we do something, like, days I'm up, days I'm down, days she's up, days she's down. So, you know, maybe we're so similar, and that's why we found each other, and that's why we understand each other so much.
Me and Tiernan have a great analogy, you know, about cups of water. Have you heard that? So it's like, you know, if you're maybe on 80% today, and she's on 20, like, you fill her cup.
You're on 100%.
But
there's days.
Well,
no, you are right. When she's 80, and and sometimes you're 50-50. But sometimes you're both 20-20.
And you can't fill each other's cups.
And
you
get through it. But that's the days that you bicker and you know, play the blame game or something. But the one thing I've found with our relationship is, we can talk. Like, Milena's very difficult at communicating. One, her first language is not English. So
is it
she's Brazilian, so it's Portuguese. But it's a Brazilian Portuguese.
Can you speak any Portuguese? Have you learned any?
That's all I can do. But so, you know, that was another block that we had. Sometimes she couldn't get across her point. Sometimes I wasn't listening to her point. And you know yourself, when you have two people that are like that, you're not listening to what each other's saying. It's, you know, you're right and you're right, and it's like that. Whereas now, I'm a lot calmer. So whenever we have a conversation, I can let her rant and rave, and then I'm like, right, well, that's good. Because it's not, the thing is, in a relationship, it's not about you against, say, it's not you against me. Say if we had a disagreement, it's us against the problem.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's not, don't be taking it personally. And what I'm saying is like, I'm not attacking you. I'm saying like, see this problem here, we need to fix it because it's not working.
Yeah.
So can we like talk around it? So that's like, we've learned to just gel a bit more. And we're still getting there. Like she still eats ahead of me at times.
I'm glad you have her and she seems incredible.
Oh, thank you.
You know, she's got you through a lot in life and stuff. Would you say music is a real kind of escapism as well? Like writing music to kind of get through those bumps?
I thought when I got sober, I wouldn't be able to write a good song again. Because I used to think I wrote all my best ones when I was, you know, taking drugs and stuff. And no, I've written the best songs that I've ever written since getting sober because I've been able to channel the feelings. Like I have a song called Why You Always With Me and it's on the album that'll be coming out. And it's about abuse, but it's not about my abuse. It's about anybody's abuse, but it came out like that. Like, and it, I don't know if you believe in God or whatever, spiritual, whatever it is, felt like something was just vibrating through me when it came out. I was crying when I was writing it. Like I was like, I can't believe I'm coming out with this. And that feeling of just letting it go, but letting it go in a way that makes so much sense to me. You know what I mean? Because when I listened to it back, I was like, holy fuck, why have I never thought of that? Like the saying, why are you always with me? What, like, you know yourself, the trauma you have is always there. You carry it with you every day and it'll never leave you. When someone dies, it's still, you know, it's there.
Yeah. It's like you just learn to cope with things.
You learn to cope with it.
Leave.
And the song is basically, why are you always with me? And I'll take you there wherever I'm going to go. And the end of it's so beautiful. And I hope whenever it comes out, hopefully you can have listened to it and see. But just being able to hide away, write songs.
Is this going to be your next release?
No. So the next release is about me and Melina, our story called History.
Oh, okay.
And it's whenever I met Melina, she just had her baby boy Enrique, who's my stepson. He was 1.5. So she was all alone. I was in the dark with addiction, and that's one of the main lyrics in the song. And it's so simple, but it tells such a beautiful story, and it's so catchy and upbeat. And then we have a couple other songs in the EP as well. It's coming out that tells the story before that of what I was doing before I got to Melina. So it makes it chaotic, resolution, and then.
I like that. So there's an EP coming out when about July time.
Yeah.
Is that right? So that's exciting, and I love that it's almost going to tell your journey.
Yeah.
Then in a way, because you've got, you know, about your relationship, about your life.
So there's actually another girl before.
Okay.
So it tells about how I meet the girl in a chaotic situation, and we thrive on chaos. And then the resolution is my mother being like, "This is not good for you, son." And there's a song called "Let Her Go," which talks about, right, you have to let this girl go. Like, so line is it, I love nothing more than to bring you home, but I know my mom would rather me come alone. Okay. And it's very upbeat and catchy. And then it talks about how out of the blue, when I wasn't looking for love, I found Melina. And that's when the real love starts, you know?
Yeah. So can you tease or tell us the date, or just keep an eye on the
Well,
socials?
once we get them tracked and finished and mixed and mastered, I'll know to find it.
Okay.
We have till next Friday.
Okay.
But there's still a lot of tracking to do and a bit of mixing to do, so.
Okay, well that's
Hopefully.
really exciting.
Yeah.
And your last release, we'll talk about that because that did so well. If you know, you know.
Hey.
Tell us a little bit, I guess, about that song, because you're going to be doing a little live acoustic of it for us.
So If You Know is about us running around whenever we were younger. It was actually Darryl. So I love writing with Darryl. Darryl's got a great mind for music. He's very, very knowledgeable. Darryl came up with the idea of the song. We got on together and we finished it. And we actually produced the song in the house ourselves, which is unreal to think, like, because whenever I listen to it, I'm like, geez, that sounds so good.
I mean, that's such a skill as well. I mean, producing, like...
But the other thing too, Cushlá, is like, we could go into somebody else and go, can you do this for us? But it'll never be the way we want it.
Yeah, and you can hear it and you can test around with different things and try things out.
100%. So it's always best we do that. And love working on it. And he came up with the idea, if you know, you know. And then we just finished the song off together. And it's about me growing up, running around, drinking and partying, and basically going, see every problem we have in life, forget about it, because this is where we are now. And if you know, you know, we'll be at the bar.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Perfect. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on to chat. Chatting for us? What? For coming on and chatting to us. And you're such an inspiration, I would say, for so many people. If there is anyone maybe listening that is maybe struggling or going through anything at the minute, what's maybe one piece of advice, I guess?
You have to seek the right help. You know, I think like I get a lot. I used to get a lot of messages. I probably still do. I don't dive into them anymore because I have to be careful of myself. There was a time I was texting someone constantly, daily. Like they were texting me and I was trying to help them through it. And they were in a position where they were taking drugs every day, but they had a family and they were hiding it and stuff. And I was just trying to talk this person through it. But it became like I'd be lying on the sofa in Moina and I was getting this text and I was like, and I was still replying. And then the person had told me that they tried to kill themselves and they blamed it on me. So I was like, I need to stop this. So I went to my counselor and he's in recovery as well. It's about finding the right thing. So finding a really good counselor, maybe going to AA. Everyone's different. I never went to AA. I still look at the steps and everything that's done there, but it just wasn't for me. And it can be for everybody. Something could be different for everybody else. But it's finding the right help that suits you and just talking. You have to be able to open up and get it out there because if you don't, it will make you angry. It will make you want to do stuff that you shouldn't be doing. Yeah.
Lovely. And I suppose I'll ask you one more thing. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Or where would you love to be in 10 years?
Can't I be asking me that? My dreams are too mad. Everyone will be thinking I'm fucking mental.
Dream big.
Sean's going to love this one. I want to achieve... So do you really want me to tell you? Right? So
yes.
I want to achieve something massive with music, but not for a personal gain. Of course, obviously there will be that. I want to improve my family's life. I want to live in a place where we're in peace. And I want to be able to give back and help. I want to help so many people. And whether that be detox centers or my form of recovery, I don't know. I've always felt like cold water is such a great way to help the mind. Whether I want to implement that on their recovery, I don't know. But I'd love to open a center and do that. I would love to get on the food places. I would love to open like a wee spot of my own and make it a really good food spot. And then in my later years, I would love to go into acting. That's what I want to do.
Really? Yeah. Oh, I love that.
So I wanted to do acting and I wanted to get into that. And that's the dream. I want to sell out the SSE as well.
We'll come back and we'll see how many things we've ticked off the list then.
Everyone.
In 10 years. Thank you.
Not in 10 years. He was maybe a couple of them in 10 years, but we'll see. Well, you never know. You never know.
Well, listen, thank you so much. No problem. You're going to do a little live performance for us?
Yes.
Blackout drunk, telling little white lies. Some days it's hard to look myself right in the eye. I need a saint to fill this empty space. Then you walk into the room, I looked at you and I said, I've tried. You said the hardest road to make you feel alive. I was in the dark, you were all alone. You turned on the light and I walked you home. The rest of the night is a mystery to me. Oh, baby, took my hand, the rest is history. And well, I called you bluff when you said you'd leave. Oh, baby, no, it isn't perfect, but it's you and me. So pack your stuff and I'll grab the keys. We took a drive, we seen the stars. I looked at you and I said, I've tried. You said the hardest songs, they make you feel alive. Ooh, I was in the dark, you were all alone. You turned on the light and I walked you home. The rest of the night is a mystery to me. Oh, baby, took my hand, the rest is history. And what you gonna do and who you gonna be? I can see the road, it's right in front of me. And Where we gonna go? Who we gonna see? Oh baby, till my hand, the rest is history. What you gonna do and who you gonna be? I can see the road, it's right in front of me, yeah. Where we gonna go? Who we gonna see? Oh baby, to my head, to my head. I was in the dark, you were all alone. You turn on the light and I want you home. The rest of the night is a mystery to me. Oh baby, to my head, the rest is history. And oh, 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 the rest is history. And oh. Well, I've been trying to hurt you by falling apart, 'cause there ain't a beer that's close enough to this damn cold heart. Well, I've been sick and tired of running to that shelf, trying to find a drink that helps me remember and forget. If you know, you know, we'll be at the bar, making drinking look easy while the liquor stays hard. If you know, you know, be home by 10, might be in the morning when the sun's coming in. If you know, you know, see it in your eyes, get ready. You ain't gotta say yes when you know, you know. We'll be at the bar, making drinking look easy while the liquor stays hard. If you know, you know. Oh, 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 yeah. If you know, you know. Oh, oh. Well, I'm a ticking time bomb. Keep telling myself, working at this dead-end job to pay back every goddamn debt. Tired of this fantasy, it's broken every part of me, trying to tell myself that I'm fine, but Jack just keeps on calling me. The devil's on the shoulder of mine. That's right. If you know, you know, we'll be at the bar, making drinking look easy while the liquor stays hard. If you know, you know, be home by 10, might be in the morning when the sun's coming in. If you know, you know, see it in your eyes, get ready. You ain't gotta say yes when you know, you know. We'll be at the bar, making drinking look easy while the liquor stays hard. If you know, you know. Oh, oh, oh. If you know, you know. Oh, ooh. If you know, you know. We'll be at the bar, making drinking look easy while the liquor stays hard. If you know, you know, be home by 10, might be in the morning when the sun's coming in. If you know, you know, see it in your eyes, get ready. You ain't gotta say yes when you know, you know. We'll be at the bar, making drinking look easy while the liquor stays hard. If you know, you know. Oh,